Views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of Vegas Allnet Radio, its affiliates, or its parent company.
Well, good evening, everybody, and it's 8 o'clock here Wednesday night in Las Vegas, which means it's time to grind. That also means it's time for the American Mind Grind. Please welcome to the booth right now your host, Eric, Jeff, and Matt, everybody.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are about to witness the American Mind Grind, a controversial show that covers topics of all size, shape, and color. Please be advised, the show will make your brain hurt. If you have a faint heart or a weak liver, it is suggested you consult your physician before participating. Others may consider a glass of water and 2 Advil to help lower your blood pressure. You will have to think. Your mind will get addicted to our program. We bring it to you straight and do not duck any of the issues. Although it may hurt, the show is good for you. We all must be aware of our surroundings and understand what is happening in this crazy world that we live in. Remember, the comments of this show are that of opinion only. We are not professionals and will not be held responsible for any of the stupid things you might do after listening to the show.
Oh no, I've said too much. I set it up. That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight, losing my religion.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the American Mind Grind. Eric, Matt, welcome back, guys.
Thanks, Eric.
How was your week?
It was excellent. So far, so good, you know. Thanks, everyone out there with Ethan. Ethan had his surgery on Thursday. I was stressing out. Everyone knows that. But everything went well. And thank you, everybody out there, for your support and all the well wishes and stuff like that. Not for your thoughts and prayers, Jeff.
Not some prayers.
So skip the prayer.
I was hoping that everything went good for Ethan, but I did not go home and pray about it. I have to admit.
Yeah, he's back to normal. 2 weeks off phys ed, and he'll be all good to go. And we're happy we're past that. And then, of course, you guys know I'm leaving in the morning. Leaving in the first thing in the morning with my boy Terry Marks. This is our annual trip to Green Bay. This time, though, we did not fly Allegiant Airlines. For those of you who watched and listened to our show a couple weeks ago, thank goodness, because that airline sucks.
Who are you flying with?
We got Southwest. They don't charge for oxygen on board and a seat assignment, and you get a seat and everything. It's kind of cool. You know, they're real fancy over there. Anyway, we're flying at 6 a.m. to Chicago. We're going to Wrigley Field the following day, seeing the Cubbies.
Cubbies.
Nail that off the bucket list, you know. And then on Saturday, we're going to Madison, Wisconsin. We're going to see the Wisconsin Badgers against the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. And then Sunday we cruise into Green Bay and we hang out in Van Boxel's bar. Our very good friend Butch, his family's owned that bar for 3 generations, and I go there every year, and I stay at his Uncle Jack's place for the weekend. And then Monday night, we got Monday Night Football. I'm going to Monday Night Football, Green Bay against Kansas City at Lambeau Field.
Jeez, you got
Tundra.
a full schedule.
Yeah, and Kenny, I don't know what to say to you. Dog and Pony Show, that's all I got to say to you, mister. Kenny, I'll be thinking about you when I'm there. I'll send you lots of pictures and all that.
We're true professionals, Kenny.
That's right. That is right. How about yourself, Jeff? What's going on with you?
I don't know, Matt. I think we skipped you. How was your week?
It has been a really, really wacky week for me. I've been dealing with a bunch of lunatics. So I started doing a little research, and it turns out on Sunday there's going to be what they call a supermoon eclipse, lunar eclipse. The moon is going to appear 14% larger and 30% brighter, and it's going to be red like a blood moon. So fun fact for the listeners
cool.
out there.
Wow.
Maybe that explains everything.
Maybe it does, because I have been dealing with some wackos this week.
They're out there.
Yeah, they are.
Was Sunday that's supposed to happen?
Sunday, yeah. It's let's see here. It's going to last for an hour and 12 minutes. It starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time and ends at about an hour and 12 minutes later.
Sounds romantic, ladies. If you want a date, hit me up.
Yep, go watch the planes land.
Watch Blood Moon.
And the Blood Moon.
And stuff.
Lots of stuff going on.
Oh, it hasn't happened for 33 years, and it won't happen for another 18, so don't miss it.
Wow.
Okay, all right, that's something to see, right?
Yeah, for sure.
A couple years ago, didn't like the sun and the moon? They got real close to each other, and then you go and see like the outer ring
like an
or something
eclipse,
like that.
like
Yeah, I saw it. I was like bartending that night, and then it was like 2 a.m. I went outside, and it was quite cool, man. You know, I guess it was like a one in however many year event. You know what I mean?
wow. So I mean, you'll be able to see it from anywhere, normal.
You'll be able to see the last bit of it here. So about
8 o'clock,
8
7,
o'clock or so,
7:45, something like
7:45,
that.
8 o'clock. So
Sweet.
Let's not forget that. Okay,
Yeah, cool.
we'll send out a reminder of that. Okay, excellent.
So I spent most of my week. Was that the end of your week?
that was the end.
I spent most of my week dealing with lawyers and attorneys, and for some of you that might not know, one of our shows got blocked. It was the show that we had talked about Harry Reid. We had talked about the government taking land from
Area 51. Yep.
And apparently we played a song that Sony had copyrights to. So through help of the people here at the station,
Yep.
and some of my close friends were able to get that back on. For those of you who don't know, I have a business outside of here. It's an event company, and our attorney is Pill Brimley. So anytime you need something taken care of, call Pill Brimley. What was it, 2 days we had the show back up?
Right.
Up and running. So if you ever have legal problems, call Pill Brimley or get a hold of me, and I'll introduce you to them, and they'll take care of your legal problems. When stuff like this happens, it's a pain in the butt. You're doing your own thing. You don't want to deal with it on your own. So thanks to everyone who helped us get the show back up and running.
Including Mr. Brimley, right?
Right.
Because, I mean, Aaron Brockovich called us, wanted to be on the Grind legal team.
Right.
Johnny Cochran.
The heavy hitter.
All that. Glenn Lena is the way to
Heavy
go.
hitter.
Call 877-1500.
If you've been in a cow wreck.
Right.
Injured in a
Cow.
car wreck.
You know, the truth of the matter is with Glenn Lerner, and everyone knows Glenn Lerner. If you live in Las Vegas, you know Glenn Lerner. God damn, he's played his commercials for like 20 years, you know what I mean? Anyway, dude he used to have like this thing where he would, have like a baseball theme or whatever, and everyone knows he sucks at baseball, dude. He can't even swing a goddamn bat, dude. Terrible, and that's like a heavy hitter.
Yeah, he
that's
came
like
out.
his
He
logo.
sponsored our softball team. He's a little buddy.
Yeah.
And he came out to play, and
He looks huge on the
He couldn't hit a
commercials. He's
softball.
small?
No, he's
He's little buddy.
He's
bro.
little.
Yeah.
He's little.
Wow.
He's buffed. But when the camera's down there looking up, everyone looks big.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Ask The Rock.
Right.
He's a little buddy too. So apparently guys in suits showed up to your work looking for you.
Well, here's the deal. After this all went down, I went outside, and there was some sort of ticking device underneath my vehicle. I thought it was an explosive device. Turned out it was just a digital clock.
I bet it was a clock. Yeah.
Little Ahmed was around,
Ahmed.
too. I saw him running away.
We got so much emails about his name's not Ahmed.
Did you get a?
Is his name Ahmad?
Ahmad.
Yeah, like I care, but,
Right.
Ahmad. He'll be my Ahmad
Here
forever.
he's Ahmad.
Yeah.
Did you save the device for the White House invite?
Well, absolutely.
Oh,
It
yeah.
came in a
Okay.
little briefcase.
Oh,
cool little
perfect.
thing. And then, I was thinking about maybe just going to Walmart and buying a $5 digital clock, but,
And then you were getting prank calls at your work and stuff?
Yeah, I was. I was getting hate mail. I mean, I hired a bodyguard for a day or two. I also burned my Sony Walkman. I was very, very scared.
Sony's out in his world. He's mad at Sony.
You smashed your
I did.
PlayStation, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I lit it on fire.
He's going to the Kmart brand.
David versus Goliath, guys.
Yeah, I
You
guess don't talk trash about the government on the air, and don't make fun of Harry Reid, I guess. I mean, I had random girls showing up at my house unannounced all week. Like, they're after us for sure. I mean,
Whew, they're
Poor
so-
you.
yeah. So I had to deal with that.
Big brother.
Amidst, a cool thing did happen. I got to see my sister wives, who I love so much, and we're trying to get everything legalized as far as that goes. But I was visiting them. I was out at a club with the two of them, and good quality time. And they're so hot. Like, my sister wives, like, I'll have them in here one day so everyone can really, really see them. The picture doesn't do them justice, but so I'm hanging out with them, and it finally happened, guys. Some dude comes up to me randomly. He's like, "You're the guy from the American Grind." And
Oh,
I was
really?
like, and I was so upset that he said it wrong. I'm like, it's the American Mind Grind. I go, yeah, but it's the American Mind Grind. And my girls are pulling me and this and that. And so I went on your Facebook and on yours, thinking maybe he's one of your guys' friends because I didn't recognize him. He's not on any of your guys' Facebook. So
Really?
we finally got recognized outside the studio. So
Slaughtered the name, though.
yeah, slaughtered the name.
Okay.
I was upset. I was so upset with that I
It's
forgot
cool
to
that somebody
ask him.
recognized you, man.
ask
I
him
haven't
how he
had that
heard
happen
us.
yet.
If you
I've
would have
been
got it
waiting.
right, you would have got an autograph too.
I would have autographed his shirt and maybe let my girl spend some time with him, but
Wow.
shot himself in the foot.
Are you going to be one of those guys with like a magic marker and sign tits and shit like that?
Yeah. I'm on the way. You know, I mean, they start tugging on my shirt. What am I
Yeah.
supposed to do? You know.
Wow.
And
man.
I got my hottie on each arm, and you know, I'm ready for stardom. If are you guys ready?
Absolutely.
I mean, let's do this thing. So the next step, obviously, is I need to be recognized by the state. I have to be able to marry both of these women and have it recognized by the state so I can get a tax deduction from both of them. So we're working on that, and I'm glad I'm not in Kentucky because I'm sure that lady probably wouldn't give me the hookup on getting married. She don't want gays getting married. She probably doesn't want a man to marry two women. So,
Well, if they were cousins, it might fly in Kentucky.
yeah, cousins is understandable.
Yeah.
Sisters, I don't think it's going to fly in Kentucky. Kim Davis is who you're talking about,
Kim
right?
Davis, that's her name. Yeah,
Kim
yeah.
Davis.
She's a mess over there, isn't she?
She is. Well, her mother held the same office for 37 years, and she worked under her mother as her deputy clerk for 26 of those years. And she was
Wow.
recently elected as a Democrat, which kind of surprises some people. But she's claiming to be holier than thou, so she won't write her name on these gay marriage licenses. She herself has been divorced 3 times. She's got 2 kids out of wedlock, and she's married the same man twice. So she's really been married 4 times total.
Wow.
Same guy twice.
Is that right?
Correct, but this was all before she found Jesus. So and her whole thing is she doesn't have an issue with the gay marriage licenses being issued. She just doesn't want her name on them.
Okay.
So that's her whole thing. Her son works under her in the county clerk's office. But the funny thing is the only people
I'll
that
bet he
can-
does.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
The only people that can kick her out is the Kentucky House of Representatives, and she has to be. She can be impeached by them, but she has to be convicted by this Kentucky State Senate, which doesn't reconvene till January of 2016.
Wow.
So she's going to be there for a while.
They're on vacation till January.
Yeah. They only have like we do, I guess, a part-time Congress.
How do I
and
get
Senate.
that job?
So
Yeah.
she was thrown in jail, right,
Jailed,
over this whole
correct,
thing.
for contempt of the court because they ordered her to issue the licenses.
And then they assigned some deputy responsibility to sign the licenses, and then they let her go as a result of that, right?
Correct.
So business as usual.
Correct. And then now she's signing the licenses like per the federal government. She's still not putting her name
Right,
on
so the
them.
signature says the federal government, no longer says her
Are
name, so now
those-
everything's cool.
Well, I don't know about that. Are the licenses a bonding agreement?
That's what the lawyers are kind of trying to figure out is if they're going to be recognized by the state and the federal government.
It's it's already come up twice.
Yes, it has. And I was researching on that, and she also denied like her best friends are gay apparently, and she wouldn't
Right.
even sign their license. So it's not a prejudice thing; it's just a religion thing for her, I think.
Right. Thing is, the thing that I'm thinking about more than anything, because this is a very important topic, gay marriage, lesbians, and so on. But the thing that really comes out in my mind is, who's the 3 guys that want to bang this broad? I mean, she is the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
And she's been married 4 times, so she probably is an expert of who shouldn't get married. You know what I mean? Like maybe we should listen to her a little bit. you
She's
know?
not a fortunate-looking thing. I'll tell you right now, buddy.
Religion's whatever is convenient to your emotions and what's going on at your life at that time. Like, I've committed adultery. I've had kids out of wedlock. I've been divorced. All the things that are in the Bible, thou shalt not do.
Right.
Well, I'm going to put my foot down on this one because it doesn't involve me personally. And I'm going to say, I'm not going to let gays get married. It's because it's convenient to her emotions and what she's wanting to do. But everything else in the Bible she can ignore. But this one, she's going to put her foot down and she's going to go to jail over it. And, I like Huckabee. And my fear of Huckabee always was that his religious beliefs would get in the way of him doing a good job as president. And man, there's a picture, we'll put it up. He's with her and he's holding her hand up like she's some kind of hero or something. And that right there put him out of the running for me because it verified my fear that his religion, his religious beliefs would come in the way of politics. And he would jumped right on the boat and called her a hero and saying that they've been stripped of, this country stripping people of their religious beliefs and stuff.
Yeah.
No, you're sworn in to do a job, no matter what the job. It's going to change. Things change. Laws change. When have we ever gone without laws changing? And so you have to sign that document. You're an elected official. You're sworn in by the court saying, I will uphold this law no matter what it is. No matter what your emotions or what you're taught.
I was a
religion.
little disappointed in the mainstream media's coverage of it because since when is it news that an elected official's not doing their job? I mean, look at Washington. None of them are.
Right.
Put
them all in jail.
She's probably going to get promoted.
I have just a really strong opinion in general about this. I just don't think that anyone should be able to even think that their opinion matters so much that they could keep somebody who's in a committed relationship with somebody who they've gotten together and they're going to be in life together and partners in life together, regardless of their gender or anything. You know what I mean? If you love each other, you should absolutely have the opportunity to get married, bind, combine households, and have a loving relationship. I mean, regardless, And I hate when people actually think that their opinion matters that much.
I think gays have the equal right to be just as miserable as the rest of us. If they want to get married, they can.
You know what?
I
That's
mean, why
such
not?
a good point. And they are too. I have so many gay friends, the men that like men and women that like women, and they go through the same relationship problems as everybody else. And yes, they are in love. They're totally in love.
Yeah.
They hold hands. They love seeing each other. They love talking to each other just like anybody else. So why not? Because you were told as a child that it's wrong, so it's wrong. Just because you were told as a child.
Yep.
I mean, and that's what religion is. You're told and told and told and told over and over and over again until it's just drilled in your head and nothing else in the world could be right except for what you've been told.
Conditioning,
Right.
is what you're saying. Just straight conditioning.
Brainwash is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, there's a level of that there in the religion.
I mean, do you believe in God?
Well, I actually have a pretty interesting opinion. I don't want to offend anyone, but I'm going to put it out there. I mean, as simple as that. We're on the show, and that's what we do. But I've never in my life, and I've been on Earth for 43 years, I've never seen anyone do anything like a human being do anything supernatural in any way whatsoever. And I'll also say this, that no one that I've ever had, friendship with or relationship with or anyone that I've ever known at all, even acquaintances, have ever run into somebody that's done anything supernatural in nature.
They can't be explained by some kind of logical
That's
theory or
correct.
whatever.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
So in that regard, no, I guess I don't believe in a higher being.
Because you haven't seen it.
I've never been touched
So
by
it's hard to believe in something. It's like believing in aliens or whatever. If you don't see it, it's not there, it's hard to believe in.
that. You know what, Jeff? That's pretty much how I feel. Yeah, that would be correct.
So you lack faith in something that you can't be proven.
That's correct.
Okay, Matt?
I'm kind of on the other side of the fence. I was raised religious. I don't go to church. I do still pray every day. I do believe there is some higher power there.
Okay.
But I think organized religion really was kind of a tool to control the people back, in the medieval times and whatnot, to organize everyone and to kind of, like you guys said, mind control people. I don't go to church. I do believe there's a higher power, and I do pray probably every day, but I'm a spiritual person more than anything, but I also ride a motorcycle, so I want to make sure if I do get hit by an 18-wheeler or something, I'm at least covered in that point,
I've always subscribed to, somebody always said to me, energy cannot be created nor destroyed.
Right.
So I believe when we die that maybe we go somewhere else, and I could get behind that. But I don't necessarily think that there's a judgment day and that you're into the pearly gates or you go to the bowels of hell or any of that stuff. I mean, that's just myself.
Right.
I'm between the two of you. I think that there's probably some kind of higher power or some kind of, I don't know if you call it God or nature or something, but there's got to be a reason that we're all here. Like something's got to explain it. At the end of the day, there has to be purpose of life. It's just not some weird thing that we happen to be here and we happen to be smarter than any other animal and do what we do. But at the same time, like you said, I don't think that there is an afterlife. I think life is either heaven or hell. You'd make that decision while you're here. I think so many people spend so much time living for the afterlife. Well, what if there's no afterlife? You wasted. God could be up there or whatever, laughing at you, saying, why are you spending all this time worshiping me? I gave you so much. Go live it. Go live your life. Go have fun. Go do things. Go enjoy it. Like,
sure.
Absolutely seize the moment kind of thing.
Yeah, I know a lot of religious people that are so wrapped up in religion that it almost ruins their life.
Yep.
And I think, my friend Tom he's got his own church. He's a pastor, and I went to see what was going on, and it's a good thing he's there. The people around need him to be there. They need a reason to get to tomorrow, and if it's because they're going to be rewarded in the afterworld, then so be it. But I just don't think so. Like you said, I haven't seen any burning bushes.
Right.
I haven't seen somebody part a sea.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anybody walking on water.
Yep.
Noah's Ark. Come on.
Yeah.
You told me they put 2 of every animal on a boat and sailed around for a little, what, 40 days, 40 nights? And who cleaned up the poop? I mean, that's not going to cause diseases. The snake didn't eat the mouse?
Yeah.
Come on, man. What, the birds didn't fly away off the boat?
Yeah, well.
Give me a break. You want me to believe that? And then the same people that believe in that, and we'll talk about it later in the show, are like, oh, you know, abortion is bad. You can't take a human life. But in the same sentence, you're going to tell me God took everybody's life that he thought was bad and put everyone else on a boat and sailed them around for a while with a bunch of animals? Come on.
As far as abortion goes, I think it could be a good thing if it's used as a form of natural selection, you know. But I think a lot of people have realized by not having an abortion, they can make more money off the government, which has got us in the situation that we're in.
Government.
You know?
Government and religion.
Amen.
Separation
right.
of church and state. There's not much such thing anymore. But I don't know. Church, I went to church. I grew up Mormon. It's cool. We all have a different view on.
I grew up Baptist.
We've never talked about this. Baptist and Jewish, right?
I'm Jewish. That's correct. I'm the chosen one.
The chosen one. Your mom always doubted on you.
Yeah, that's right. Doted on the chosen one.
And I grew up Mormon, and I left the church at a young age because I didn't like what they were feeding me. But when I was in church, I always felt, and I went and studied other religions because I was kind of like, okay, I'm lost. Do I want to stay in religion? Do I want to leave religion? And every church I went to, every single one, I felt like I was in a cult. Everyone stand up at the same time, sit down at the same time, kneel at the same time, say stuff at the same time. Like,
that's
and
kind of what I was
also
touching on with the brain control thing. You know what I mean? That's why I was
like
like
robots.
all right, yeah, okay, maybe there is a divine creator, but do I really have to sit here with all these guys?
Right.
And like,
Right.
I'm a free thinker. I don't, you know, I couldn't stand that. That's why I was like, okay, I'm out. I'll do my own thing.
If I want to talk to God, I'm going to go to God's country up on a beautiful mountain or a river or something that God made, not a man-made building where I have to pay to be there.
Correct.
And I'm going to communicate with God or whatever my spiritual, I don't know.
You guys have really been in touch with religion. I eat bagels and lox on Sunday and call it good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys.
Is it at least kosher?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's
You-
kosher, yeah. I eat bacon, man. That's really bad.
Yeah,
That's really
like
bad. I'm not allowed to eat bacon or
No,
ham
you're
or any of
not.
that. It's got to be blessed by a rabbi. A rebbe. A rebbe. Yeah, it's got to be blessed.
so you pray every day.
Pretty much, you know, even if it's just for someone who I know needs help. And if it's only hope, you know, but I do. And
cool.
I'd like to think it helps out a little bit, you know.
I used to pray every day. I was told to. I had to. I was forced
Right,
to.
right.
Say your prayer, say your prayer, say your prayers. I'm like, they never come true.
Right.
What am I praying for? And I'm like, one time I blessed the food and I got sick. I said, please let this food nourish and strengthen my body. And I got food poisoning from it. I threw up for 3 days. And I was like, you know what? I thought you had my back, dude. Like, I thought you told to bless this food, man. Like, should I stop praying? Does it mean nothing? And at that point, and I was young, I thought, you know what? There might be a God, but he's not up there playing a video game. He's not up there with a joystick saying, well, he prayed for this, I'm going to give it to him. Or sometimes I'm not going to give it to him. I'm making work. And the devil's not over here with his controller saying, I got you. I got you. I think it's just you live life, and either you do it or you don't. And God's not watching. You know, I think he, whatever, him, he, her, it could be anything, blessed us with all this great and all this bad. And we're supposed to decipher it, I think.
So do you two believe in good and evil then? I mean, do you believe that there is a good power and an evil power in the world?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
I would have to say that I believe in a little bit of that.
I
yes.
always say the good has to win over evil at any cost,
Okay.
even death.
I agree.
Especially these days. There's a lot of evil out there, guys.
There's a lot.
a lot of evil out there.
And so I think I'm a good guy. Like, you've been with me. I don't ever pass somebody that needs help on the side of a road, right?
No, Jeff's done. Yeah, he's always been the good Samaritan, man. And there have been times that I'm like, "Are you sure you want to get involved with this?" And he always gets involved with it. Always get involved. Always help people that dogs. He's recovered dogs for people. He's protected women against domestic violence situations. I mean, directly involved. You know what I mean? If somebody's irate at a bank or something like that and it gets out of hand, Jeff's the guy that steps up. So yeah, he's never afraid to get involved and make things right. You know what I mean? He
Absolutely.
So if there's a heaven or hell, I
You
would
got
like
some
to
points
think
in
that
you, yeah.
I'm going to be rewarded for all my good behavior in heaven, even though I don't go to church and don't pay tithing and I don't worship the way that they do. I don't know. I think just be a good person, and you have to think that if there is an afterlife, then you're going to be taken care of. I do those things not in case there is, just because good has to win over evil.
Right. It's the right thing to do. Absolutely. I fall right in line with that same train of thought, I think. So.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Pope would jump in front of somebody throwing a punch, do you?
This one would, of course. He's the people's pope.
He's the people's pope.
He's the
dude.
people's pope,
Do
man.
you see that Jeep he's cruising around in?
Yeah, do you see how
It's
long
like
it
off
takes him
Jurassic Park, man.
He's trying to prove that he doesn't need a limo and this and that.
No,
He's-
he is actually he doesn't have like bejeweled things, and he sits in a regular chair. He got rid of that fancy chair that he
wears regular shoes.
He wears regular shoes just like all of us. You know, he uses same toilet tissue that we probably use. You know what I mean? But every time I see this dude on TV, and he's been on my TV like nonstop for the last couple of days. I mean, just every minute of every day he's on TV. The only thing I think about is my old grandpa Queenie. You know, I swear to God, he looks just like my grandpa Queenie. Queenie was my grandpa that you just never want to go visit because he's just nasty. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was just nasty. So every time I see Pope Francis, I think about Queenie, right? And what would happen is like if you didn't finish your meal or if you cursed or you did something stupid, you know what I mean? And that, I'm cool with discipline or whatever. He used to do this weird thing, man. Like he'd let it pass, and then you'd walk by him like 2 hours later, and he'd do this Vulcan grip to your neck, dude, and he'd bring you to your knees, bro. And like usually when my mom and dad weren't watching, that's when he did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Corner my ass,
Right.
And he'd Vulcan grip me, you know what I mean, to the ground, and then he'd be like, "Oh, don't you think I didn't forget what happened?" You know what I mean? That's us. I'm like, God damn it, man! I hate coming here. I just hate it. So I hate Pope Francis for that,
Right.
Because he looks just like him.
Well, he's a fairly liberal pope as far as popes go. I mean, he believes in climate change. He's hasn't endorsed gay marriage yet, but he's not condoned it either. You know, he's got
He doesn't go out of his way to say it's a great thing, but he's tolerant of a lot of things that thousands of years. You know, this Pope thing's been going on for thousands of years, guys. 2,000 years. He's actually. It's a great story, man, because he's actually from Argentina. He's not now. Usually,
first pope from South America, right?
That is correct. That is correct. He is 78 years old. He is. He was his mom and dad were from Italy, okay, and they were immigrants to Argentina, and that's where he was born. So he was a citizen of Argentina all of his life. 78 years old. He worked at one time as a nightclub bouncer, from what I understand, a janitor, chemical technician when he was young.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he
Wow.
was, you know, he came from very modest backgrounds.
One thing I found interesting when I was doing my research is he actually hates capitalism. I mean, one of the Fidel brothers, the president of Cuba now, the not Fidel Castro's his brother, said the way he writes about capitalism makes me want to start going back to church. So I thought that was very interesting. You know,
I asked a girl earlier, I said, what's the big deal with the Pope, and why is there so many people lined up just to look at him or touch him or whatever? And she says, well, Jeff, he's the great father.
He's the great father. And you know how many people he represents for Catholics? 1.2 billion people. That
A lot
is
of
their,
money.
That
I
is
mean,
their
people.
figurehead. That is their communication. That is the on-earth communication with God.
huge
I mean,
thing
he
too is
huge.
he speaks Spanish. You know, he speaks Spanish, which you know,
Habla español?
Hablo español. So a
Sí,
huge,
señor.
huge portion of the Catholic Church is Hispanic. You know, they did a pretty good job conquering back in the day.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure if a couple blood tests would prove that John Traylor's my father. All right, we're going to take a call. Slappy, you're on line one and live on the American Mind Grind. What's up?
Hey, long-time listener, second-time caller. I just wanted to say I'm usually on board with a lot of what you guys are saying, but I think you're all going to hell, though. I mean, I'm pretty convinced of it now.
Wow.
Wow,
Thanks.
Yeah.
strong words.
I'm a Southern Baptist Jew myself.
Very nice.
And,
So then when we're there, we can play a game of pool together.
That's a pretty small. That's a pretty small
and,
demographic, Slappy. You're a Southern Baptist Jewish person.
I'm a Southern Baptist Jewish person. Yes, I was raised Baptist, but I converted to Judaism.
I feel
Because,
bad for you, boy, because
I like the
barbecue
hat.
pork is delicious
Yeah,
in
the
the, South.
Bible Belt, baby.
I like the hat and the candles and the dreidel. I mean, it's good shit, you know.
Yeah,
The hat.
I got you. I got you. Wow, you're a chosen one like
Right.
myself.
I think the Pope would call it a sombrero.
That's
And I
messed up.
believe that if you don't believe what I believe, I think you're wrong, and I think you're going to hell. I mean, it's just
What?
that simple.
Why is that?
Because because the Bible has a lot of chapters, and the reason that is that you can pick and choose what part of it you want to believe, and it's like a build your own burger kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Obviously, you're not very well versed in the Bible. You know.
I've read it 3 times. This one begat that one begat that one. Next thing you know, I don't know who begat who.
It's confusing. It is confusing, but gay marriage is an abomination to God. You know, I mean, that's just what it is. You know, that lady in Kentucky got it right, I think. You know.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So you think that she's right to stand up for what she believes, and that's the higher power that it should play in the government.
I think so. I think religion should have total control of government. I mean, it's on the money. It says it's right there on the money. In God we trust on everything.
And it's what the Constitution. It's what the people will argue. That's what this country is founded on. Correct?
Sure.
There is a reasonable argument that this country was founded on Judeo-Christian values.
Yeah. And I've heard that argument.
Southern Baptist.
I haven't really. I don't think any of us have really said yay or nay if we believe in God or not. We're just trying to figure it out here together as a group, and there really, you have to admit there hasn't been much proof. I mean, if you tell me all these things used to happen, how come they don't happen anymore?
Well, I read in a thing from a Texas Christian University. It was a very well published document. That a guy actually lived in a whale. I mean, so that could happen. I mean, you know.
Yeah, but that was some dude's dick, right? Moby's dick?
Moby's dick.
Yeah.
Moby had a big dick. And
that was actually Jonah, guys. Jonah lived in the whale.
Jonah the whale. Yeah. Yeah. I mix those stories up.
Moby was a book or something.
Right.
But, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well, thank you, Rand.
Anyway, I just wanted to say I'll be in heaven, and I think you're pretty much all condemned to hell.
Can I get a hallelujah?
Slappy, I'm impressed with your faith. Go jump inside of a whale and let me know how that works out.
Sure will, buddy. Hey, y'all have a great night. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for listening. All right, so we got to take a break after that. My brain's about ready to explode after.
Chalk one up for Kim Davis.
Chalk one up for
Kim Davis.
Anyway, guys, if you want to, 1 point God. If you guys want to call in, 702-483-4444. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, you're back live on the American Mind Grind. So we left you before the commercial break talking about our caller Slappy that definitely believes in heaven and heaven and hell.
He believes that all 3 of us are going to hell is what he believes in.
That's what he thinks. He thinks that we're all going to hell. Just because of my belief isn't the same as his.
Yeah.
And so how many other people are going to hell? So hell's going to be very overcrowded. Heaven's going to be a very lonely place from what I'm seeing. The population will not be a problem up in heaven. Somebody who I think probably did go to heaven, if there is a heaven today, is Yogi Berra.
Oh, I would agree with that.
Yogi Bear.
I would think so.
Yogi Berra. Yogi Berra. Now, normally we don't do sports stories, so sometimes it just comes up, but this time we felt it necessary. It would be irresponsible of us to not mention Yogi Berra. Yogi Berra passed at the age of 90 yesterday. Yogi Berra was the most successful baseball player in the history of Major League Baseball, and this spans, Major League Baseball spans well over 100 years. For even people that aren't into sports, you would have to understand that he was a American hero. He was drafted by the Yankees. He served in World War II as a U.S. naval. He played 19 seasons in Major League Baseball, and if you're a sports fan or not, you got to appreciate that. 18-time All-Star. 18 of the 19 years he played, he was an All-Star. He was a 13-time World Series champion, 10 as a player, 3 as a coach manager, and he appeared in 21 World Series. He, a little backstory, he was an 8th grade dropout. He lived with his wife, Carmen, for 65 years. She died last year. And, of course, back then, when you watch baseball, the families ate together every night. And there wasn't internet, there wasn't cable. And after dinner, you'd sit around the Philco, the radio, and you'd listen to the voices of baseball. And that was very much part of American fabric. And Yogi Berra was a legend, a United States legend. He was mostly famous for his what they called yogiisms, which are paradoxical contradictions. And I'm going to give you a couple of them just because we feel it necessary to share them with you. It ain't over till it's over is his absolute #1 saying. He used that in 1973 when the Mets were 9.5 games out of first place in mid-July.
That's what I say every time we're bombing a show.
Right.
It ain't over till it's over. Might be a comeback.
Back. Last 15 minutes.
It's let me say a couple more and then we'll leave this alone, but it's deja vu all over again. You can observe a lot by watching. Nobody goes there anymore. It's too crowded. Always go to other people's funerals, otherwise they won't go to yours. And then 90,
dead.
and then my favorite one, of course, is baseball. We love baseball. You know, all three of us love baseball. 90% of this game is half mental. He died in his sleep last night. The Yankee family, the baseball family, and the world as a whole is saddened by our loss. He actually died the same day he made his major league debut 69 years ago. That was
is
kind
so
of
crazy
ironic.
to me.
That was, yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Baseball
All right.
plays out like that a lot of times.
Oh, and then of course the last thing I want to mention is that Yogi Bear. We grew up, you know, Jeff and I for sure.
Hey there, Boo Boo.
Bear, Yo Boo Boo. He was
Hey,
based
Boo Boo's a
on
picnic
Yogi Berra.
basket.
They made a cartoon about him.
Of him. That's how popular
That's how
he was.
popular he was at the time. You know, and I can't tell you how many kids were touched by him, and they wanted to play catcher, and they wanted to wear the number 8. And he's actually an all-century team catcher. That means starting all-time great. You know what I mean?
I
Just
always
amazing.
wore number 8, the Ocho, on my back. A lot of people know me as the Snowman because I always wear number 8, and it was because of him and because of Andre Dawson, two of my favorite players that
The
always
Hawk.
wore number 8. So
The Great Hawk.
I mean, he made it to what, 90 years old, right?
He had a great long life. He is he was a wonderful husband, father, grandfather, and great grandfather. And he did tons of philanthropy work. People all over the world benefited because Yogi Berra was on this earth. And
So that's good.
We'll
I
miss
mean, he
him.
lived
We'll
a
miss him.
good long life. Doesn't sound like he got cheated at all.
No.
out of anything. I mean, by the time you hit 90, you're basically in the bullpen anyway, right?
Yeah, you're in the last.
You're up next.
yeah.
Well, good for him.
And he died in his sleep. You know, that's
and
nice.
what a
We all
good
hope for
way to
that,
go.
right?
Yeah,
Good
no
way to
kidding.
go. Just old age. There wasn't any real condition that was involved. It just slept away. That's
I
it.
hope I die hunken Sie Deutsch. I hope I'm
during the ditty.
going to town and just
really.
How
It just
tragic
got
is that
that-
going to be for the other person involved?
Yeah, how about
Well,
the chick? How about the
yeah.
dude involved?
Yeah. Yeah. What's he going to think?
whatever.
He's
I
gonna
drive
be
it
scarred for life.
like a nail. No, his
good
his
stuff.
family was immigrants too, right? They were he grew up poor. They had a hard
Absolutely.
time, right? A very hard time.
He was short. He was stout. He was ugly. I mean, you know, he was not everything that an American hero should be, but it was his charisma and, like I said, these yogiisms that made him so popular during that time. And you know, you close your eyes, you put yourself there, and think about sitting around a radio and listening to a ball game. You know, what I mean, with Yogi Berra behind the plate, catching Don Larson, the only World Series perfect game, and it's just a wonderful. He had a wonderful life. He really did.
It's a good thing his parents lived it out and kept raising him, although it was so hard for them to do. He would have been, I guess, today maybe a product of abortion, and none of that life would have ever happened.
You never know. You never know.
Or they could have aborted him, and they could have sold his
body
fetal body
parts.
parts for money for research and for other babies. What happened there in the
This
the
is just
Planned
such a sick
Parenthood?
story. Yeah, there's been several undercover videos now where they're talking about selling parts of aborted fetuses to other people, and I don't know really much more than that. But if you watch the video, it is so chilling, and the leader of the Planned Parenthood is absolutely just a sick woman. But yeah, and you can buy them parts at a time, so it's not even like it's a whole dead baby fetus.
Almost like a checkout cart.
It's like a butcher shop, I guess. You know,
yeah,
like
left arm.
The liver's the breadwinner.
Yeah,
Everyone,
Is that
they're all
right?
looking for livers.
Yeah.
Baby liver.
Wow, I had no idea, man. When's this been going on?
Oh, for quite a
Oh,
while.
for a
They
couple
cut
months now.
funding
Yeah.
to the
Really?
Planned Parenthood, and like it's big. And it's one of those stories where you just kind of think the Planned Parenthood's there for the people who really need it. If a girl's raped, like I think she should be able to have an abortion, or if times are tough and that kid maybe would be better off aborted. But again, we never know, like Yogi Berra's story.
Right, sure.
And it's a tough thing. I mean, did you guys hear about baby Bella?
Yeah, another sick story.
Another sick story.
In Boston.
Yeah,
Like-
Well, fill me in, guys.
There was a body, how long ago? About 6-8 weeks ago, that washed up in the harbor of Boston, and they couldn't identify the baby, and they just recently arrested the mother and her boyfriend, and they're saying basically that they killed the baby because it was possessed by a demon.
Oh, you gotta be kidding
so
me.
this guy, this guy, Michael McCarthy, and his girlfriend Rachel Bond, not James Bond, Rachel Bond, have a kid together, and she's a cute little kid, you know, running around having fun, doing everything what other little kids do. And their lifetime friend had lived with them and moved out and turned them in, saying that they do evil, crazy things to the baby, like lock it in the closet for an hour because it won't stop crying, and she won't stop crying. And so he moves out, reports them. Nothing happens, of course. And then one night, the baby won't go to bed. It's crying, screaming. And this McCarthy guy claims that he can see ghosts and he can see this and that and demons and spirits. And he kept saying, that baby's possessed, that baby's possessed. Well, of course, the kid's sitting there crying, won't go to bed, so the mom punches it in the stomach as hard as she can.
Oh, my God.
Kills it. Her reply was, it was that baby's time to die.
Wow.
That's her reply, yeah.
There's some
Right.
sick people out there, man.
Right. So they've admitted
You always
to
hear
it.
about the baby shaking thing,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and the baby.
And that works, actually. If you ever have to babysit.
Speaking from experience?
Shake it a little bit and it's good to go.
Wow.
That
Remind me
NyQuil.
never to let you babysit my child.
That and NyQuil and
I go with
That
NyQuil,
NyQuil,
yeah.
right.
8 hours of sleep, man.
Maybe a shot of booze or something like that.
I don't even
cocaine.
Put it under the gum.
Some cocaine work?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
Your,
Yeah, right under the gum. The baby sleeps like you wouldn't believe.
I don't even go with shaking. I just give him the bottle with the nipple on it of the
Yeah,
NyQuil.
the teachers in Seattle do not need to go to his daycare.
Right.
Shaking
Don't
the
bring
baby and
possessed
stuff.
kids to my daycare. All right, we're going to take a call. Or Ken McGuire, you're on line 1.
What's up, Eric? How you doing?
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Hey, Jeff. How you doing, buddy?
What's up? Long time. How are you?
Good. Oh, yeah. Hey, I told you I was going to call in and just say hi. And I was just trying to. I had a hard time getting on the website there to see what you guys are talking about, but I just heard the last few minutes, so I hope everything's going good for you guys.
Everything's good. We'll give you a call later. We got so much material to get to still, and I will be giving you some heads up from when I get back to the homeland, brother. We'll be missing you this
You
weekend.
enjoying
bro.
the show, Kenny?
Yeah. Huh?
You enjoying the show? You like
Yeah,
it?
Great, yeah. No, yeah, I just had a hard time doing it through the website and everything, so
Okay.
I had a hard time there. But no, I love the show, and keep up the good work, guys.
Thank you so much, brother. We'll
Sweet.
be in touch.
Thank you. Thanks for calling
Thanks,
in, Ken.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. See you, buddy.
Jesus, Ken, have another drink.
Yeah, sound like he's
Lord.
liquored up.
What are you drinking tonight, brother?
Thing I love about our listeners
I've known
is
him for a long time. I know. He's,
the intelligence of the American mind grind. It has no boundaries.
That's right.
be able to download the app because you're drunk.
We'll be talking. We'll talk over the weekend though. That is a for sure thing. When I get back to his hometown, he's from Green Bay, so
Oh, nice.
He's jazzed up about me going
It's
back.
the thin line of the intelligence of our listeners. You know, it bounces over the line and under the line, and it's almost like Obama's red line that he drew in the sand that he warned he warned people not to cross his thin red line that he drew, and then they crossed it, and he did nothing.
Right.
And I mean, I think we kind of hit on this, and I think you're the one that's bringing this to us, right?
Absolutely. Well, speaking of his line too, did you guys see the lineup that he invited to see the Pope? Just to throw this out there real quick,
Yeah,
he
go for
invited a transgender activist, the first openly gay bishop.
Wow.
An activist nun that wants the Vatican to support abortion, and then a gay Catholic teacher that got fired from private school. So that was kind of interesting to me. That is who he actually invited.
So they're all going to sit and
they're
have
at the
tea
White
and
House
stuff?
when the Pope came. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So Obama hangs out with way more freaks than we do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The American
It's not
mind
even that
grind's
bad.
nothing compared to Obama. when
We're
it
a
comes
mild
to-
deal compared to the
freak
White House.
show.
My goodness, man, we got to get some
And
friends.
Ahmed's there now.
Ahmed's hanging out with
Ahmed's
his
there,
digital
yeah, we
clock
got
and
a-
all that. The Pope, when he goes to Philly, there's going to be 1 million people there. That's 1,000 thousands people. That's a lot of people.
That is
man.
a lot of people, man.
In one place, and the logistics behind his visit are just off the chart insane. The amount of money that we're spending for his visit, but I mean, with that said, I guess it's a really important historical visit for him to be here, and he seems like a very down to earth guy. But am I right? When
So do a lot of serial killers.
well,
Who cares?
whatever.
That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I haven't ever had dinner with him, so I
we
wouldn't
don't
know either way.
It's like when everyone cried that Princess Di
Do
died.
you remember when we
I
were
didn't know
kids,
her.
John Paul II? He seemed to be the
Oh, yeah,
Pope
I
for a
remember
long
him.
time,
Yeah.
dude.
He was forever,
that guy.
yeah.
Yeah, he was around for a good long time. Do you have to die to become does somebody have to die, or do you or do you get old where you're like, hey, I got to peace out on
Right.
this thing?
If you die,
no,
you can
because
be resurrected.
I don't
as
think
the
the
Pope.
last Pope died. I thought he just
Okay.
opted out because wasn't he
okay.
like in the
That was
Nazi
my
army
question.
or something like that?
Is it like the queen
Benedict
or the king?
Wasn't
You
it
have
Pope
to die
Benedict?
and then re-elect somebody?
I think he just opted out,
Oh,
and then
okay,
they
cool.
they do like white smoke and black smoke or something at the Vatican.
He left the
Some-
church for an 8-year-old or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Crazy like that.
You're a sick person, man.
I'm not. It happens.
You're
It
right.
happens a lot.
You're right. No, actually, you hear about those stories all the time.
He said it. Part of his speech was that has to stop.
What, the pedophiling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No more pedophiles.
Yeah.
He's drawn the red line like
yeah.
Obama.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think that unlike Obama, he'll hold people accountable. So tell us about the refugees, man. What's going on with how come there's all these refugees running around and where are they going?
They're leaving Syria and Iraq, and it is the largest refugee movement since World War II. To kind of put that in perspective, but they're all leaving because ISIS is taking over half of Iraq and half of Syria, and they're calling it the Islamic State. Is it ISIS or is it ISIS? Because I'm a little confused on that.
Is
No,
No, ISIS is the political name. Is their rapper name.
Oh, got you.
That's the stage name?
Is
They have stage name?
Is
Yeah.
you know they got their own dance coming out. It's gonna be great.
Perfect.
Matt and I were talking about this before the show, and he blew me away with some of the things that they believe in.
Right? Yeah. Hit us with it.
They
It's-
believe in Sharia law, which, if you guys don't know, it's a caliphate. They believe in one supreme leader, one Muslim leader that's going to rule over the rest of the world, and they don't care if you're Muslim or not. You're going to fall in line. You have to support jihad, which is a holy war to spread the Islamic faith.
Okay.
The leader of it can only come to power through force. So he's either got to kill the old leader or just start killing people and get a gathering.
Okay.
They also remove the female genitalia so that female cannot enjoy sex. They cut off the clitoris, believe it or not.
Okay.
They believe some crazy things.
That's reasonable.
If a woman is raped, she has to have 4 witnesses to prove that she was raped, and she cannot be one of them. She can't testify against her rapist.
So run in groups of 3.
Yeah, right. Always.
Run in groups of 3. You're good.
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
fourth man out.
I don't know. They left me in the van. I can't be a witness.
I'm the
I
fourth.
don't know what happened.
right.
was
I gotta
the
stay
fourth
back.
driver.
I gotta fall back.
That's a new meaning to designated driver, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Designated rapist.
But there's 7.6 million people that are displaced within Syria, and there's another 2 million people that have already went to Turkey.
7.6 million.
7.6 million.
They have
Yeah.
control half of Iraq, and now they have half of Syria.
And they have a very good strategy. If you look at a map of what they actually control, it's mostly the oil fields of Iraq and Syria.
Of course.
And this is kind of, we pulled out of Iraq early because Obama's red line in the sand, right? We got to leave. And then he tried to out the leader of Syria. What's his name?
Ahmed.
Ahmed, yeah, the little 12-year-old bomb clockmaker. Yeah.
That poor kid. He's getting it on the grind. Everyone else loves him.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
grind just gives it
We
to
don't
him.
like
It's also in Sharia law. They're one of the only religions that have not abolished slavery. So you can take slaves. You can marry up to 4 wives. The
Yeah,
real
okay.
sick part, since we're speaking of marriage and gay marriage, and we have to define marriage clearly in this country, because they can actually marry an infant, and then they have to consummate the marriage at age 8.
8 years old.
8 years old
Sex.
is when they consummate the marriage, but they're married from birth. They can marry an infant. It's some real sick, twisted stuff that these guys are thinking, and they want a holy war. That's what their jihad is. They want Islam to rule the world.
I'm hearing a lot of stuff about the religion that I like, but one of the things that I don't like,
According to Slappy, you can cut and paste. So
The 4 wives.
the 4 wives is good, the youth, everything is great, but I don't understand why you would cut off the woman's
Genitalia.
pleasure.
Nah.
Part of what turns me on is turning on a woman, so I'm out.
No.
For that, I'm out.
And a woman can't divorce her husband either. And for a man to divorce a woman, all he has to do is say, "I declare we are divorced,"
And that's
it's
it.
done. No
You're
legal
out.
paperwork.
Oh,
No nothing.
God,
But
would
she
solve-
can never leave him.
Ever.
Oh, dude, I like this.
Ever.
That would solve a lot
I
of
get
problems in
down
this
with
country,
that.
dude.
Yeah, you
Forget
never leave.
prenup.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Well, say you have a sister too, she can only legally inherit half of what you have. So you get the rest. Half of what you inherit is what she can get if she does.
Sounds
the
fair
next
to
in
me.
line.
Wow.
So
Instead of
and
saying
then-
we want prenup, I'm gonna say we want jihad. We want, how does he say it?
Now,
Jihad.
these are the same sick,
Yeah.
sick people that cut people's heads off on.
cut
on
people's heads off,
These
burn
are the
They
people
people
killed that poor
alive.
girl. That girl, I forget her name, but that was a horrible story. Oh man,
Washed up on shore. or
And
whatever.
people don't
No, they
really
cut her head off,
Yeah,
dude.
they
Right.
cut her head off.
Yeah.
They don't really realize that this is the 5th year of this war in Syria, the 5th year of this civil war. that it's been going on.
So here's the importance of it, guys. For those of you who don't know the guts of the story, he just referred to the red line again. Obama draws a red line. He says, listen, if you cross this line, there will be hell to pay. The United States will come down with a fury. And basically what he was telling Syria is that I don't want to see any more movement of arms, no bartering with terrorists, no more chemical weapons. Well, they're like, okay, cool. We're going to draw up a treaty that was actually drawn up by Russia. And the treaty said, okay, no more. We promise. And then we go in and our guys find out that there's tons of chemical use going on, weapons, and Obama did nothing. He did nothing. And ISIS moves in, and ISIS starts getting national attention, world attention, and Obama says about ISIS, oh, they're a junior varsity team. Don't worry about them. We can crush them anytime we want. Well, now they're kicking everyone out of Syria. And here's what ISIS is so crazy or smart or whatever. They told us we're going to send all these refugees to the western cities, and mixed amongst them
4,000 they've already had. They've
4,000
admitted they've already had 4,000 jihadists, shooters, ready to act.
Professional trained killers that we're going to welcome into our homes. And the leaders of Canada,
85,000 refugees we're taking next year, and the year after that we're taking 100,000. And the government always lies, so I'm sure those numbers are much bigger.
right? Of course.
Well, don't you run the risk that there's like sleeper cells in those people?
They've already snuck 4,000 into Europe
of them.
Oh my goodness.
Already.
This is a real problem, guys.
Right,
And
right. They
this is
outsmarted our president, and that's why you don't elect a kid to be president. This year, when you vote, when the voting comes up, don't vote for a dumb kid. Vote for someone that at least managed a Pizza Hut in their life. For God's sakes, man.
Yeah.
And don't worry about their hairstyle.
And this theology's out there, and this is some scary stuff to really start thinking about.
In Canada, they're telling everyone that every household should adopt one of these families.
Yeah, they are. Well, and the Muslims in Michigan have already sued the state of Michigan trying to enact Sharia law too. So it's a really screwed up situation.
There's a lot of them in Michigan, right?
Yeah, there's a ton.
Before we leave, everyone, do I have even a half minute here?
Yeah.
20 seconds.
September 23rd, guys.
Right
we
here.
didn't get to it, but if you go online, this was supposed to be the end of the world as we know it. A catastrophic event was supposed to happen in line with Yom Kippur. Sir Isaac Newton said there was 100% probability that September 23rd, 2015 was the end of the world. Look it up online.
Tonight. We're supposed to be dead tonight, right?
Tonight, asteroid.
Might be last show.
Oh yeah, a couple hours.
Good last show, guys.
You're welcome.
It was nice knowing you.
Hopefully we'll see you guys next week.
I'll see you guys in
As
hell.
we adjourn here tonight, we'll leave you with this beautiful song to help calm your nerves. As you fall asleep, think of all you've heard on tonight's program. Try to relax and let all thoughts become one. Remember, your brain is a muscle and you must exercise it. Practice logical thinking, and for God's sakes, man, be kind to each other. Good night, and thank you for listening to the American Mind Grind.
Got my ticket to heaven, an everlasting life. I gotta ride all the way to paradise. I got my ticket to heaven, an everlasting life.